To build the ultimate cosmic machine, ancient Hindu texts describe a very specific set of components. You begin with a towering, unimaginably heavy mountain to use as a central churning rod. Then you place it squarely on the back of a massive cosmic turtle floating in the middle of a vast ocean. For an engine, you take Vasuki, the king of the serpents, and wrap his immense body around the mountain like a rope. On one side, an army of gods pulls the serpent. On the other, an army of demons pulls back, establishing a grueling rhythmic tug-of-war. This immense physical friction causes the massive mountain to spin, violently agitating an ocean made entirely of milk. The goal is to churn this celestial sea until it yields Amrita, the elusive elixir of eternal life. This is the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean. It is a foundational episode in Hinduism, outlined in major texts like the Vishnu Purana. Its imagery is specific and localized, carved into the stone of temple complexes like Angkor Wat. Yet, thousands of miles away in ancient Scandinavia or medieval Europe, these exact same highly peculiar ingredients reappear. You find the same turbulent sacred oceans, the same world-encircling serpents, and the same deities forming uneasy alliances to secure a magical drink of immortality. Historians treat the Samudra Manthan as a structural blueprint. By analyzing its internal logic, we can begin to see how these bizarre narrative elements might have traveled across the globe from a single shared point of origin. The Hindu epic begins with a devastating loss of power. After slighting the easily angered sage Durvasa, the Devas, the gods, are hit with a curse that drains their strength. This creates an immediate power vacuum, allowing their bitter rivals, the Asuras, to conquer all three worlds. Desperate, the gods seek the counsel of the supreme deity, Vishnu. His advice is entirely counterintuitive. To get their power back, the gods must approach the very demons who just conquered them and propose a temporary alliance to churn the ocean for the nectar of immortality. This brings us to a major comparative checkpoint. This branching map shows the spread of Indo-European cultures, splitting off toward Vedic India and Norse Scandinavia. Right here in the middle is a shared ancestral narrative motif, the adversary alliance. The heroes must work with their enemies to achieve an impossible goal. In the Samudra Manthan, we see this abstract concept executed through intense physical labor. The diagram shows the mechanics of this alliance. The gods hold the tail of the cosmic serpent, while the demons hold the massive head, forced into a synchronized rhythm. The labor exerts immense strain on the environment. The churning mountain, Mount Mandara, is so heavy that it begins to sink to the bottom of the milk ocean. To save the project, Vishnu takes the form of a giant turtle, his Kurma Avatar, diving to the ocean floor to support the mountain on his shell. This setup exposes an ancient psychological paradox that crosses continents. These cultures understood that securing the highest prize often requires leveraging the strength of your greatest threat. The friction from forced cooperation produces a catastrophic side effect.
The spinning mountain causes the serpent Vasuki to vomit a lethal poison known as Halahala. Its toxic fumes are powerful enough to destroy all of creation. To protect the universe, the god Shiva catches the poison and consumes it himself. The toxicity permanently burns his throat, turning it a deep blue hue and earning him the epithet Neelakantha, the blue-throated one. Looking at this split-screen graphic side by side, we can see the framework proposed by scholar Gerich Osten. In Norse myth, specifically the Heimaskrida, we see the exact same pairing, a turbulent, sacred body of water, inextricably entwined with a massive, world-threatening serpent. Back in the Hindu epic, the poison is cleared, and the churning yields the 14 Ratnas, divine treasures and goddesses that rise from the milk. Finally, the physician of the gods emerges, holding a single pot. It contains the Amrita, the nectar of immortality. The alliance instantly collapses. The demons snatch the nectar and flee. To prevent them from drinking it, Vishnu transforms into Mohini, a beautiful enchantress. She distracts the demons, subtly tricking them into giving up the pot so she can distribute the nectar to the gods. The French philologist Georges Dumézil identified this specific arc as the ambrosia cycle. He established that this is a definitive proto-story. Across multiple Indo-European cultures, you find this identical sequence where a drink of immortality is stolen and reclaimed through a very specific set of deceptions. The pattern of theft, sacrifice, and trickery suggests that these geographically distant cultures are pulling from the same deep ancestral narrative. The legacy of the Samudra Manthan extends far beyond ancient texts, manifesting in the literal geography and daily life of modern India. According to medieval Hindu theology, when the demons were frantically carrying the Amrita away from the gods, the pot was tipped. 4 distinct drops of the nectar spilled from the heavens and landed on 4 specific locations on Earth. Those 4 mystical spill sites, Haridwar, Prayagraj, Trimbak, and Ujjain, became the sites of the Kumbh Mela. Here, humans have gathered for centuries to physically engage with the aftermath of the epic. Today, the Kumbh Mela is the largest gathering of humanity on the planet. Millions of devotees pack tightly along the rivers every 12 years, bathing in the waters with the belief that they will attain moksha, a liberation from the cycle of rebirth. You can even find the churning rod itself. In the Banka district of Bihar, locals point to Mandar Parvat, an actual physical stone hill that they believe is the literal Mount Mandara used by the gods. These bizarre, highly specific themes survive because they aren't isolated stories. They are remnants of a shared human ancestry passed down through thousands of years of migration.
Whether we are looking at ancient Scandinavian poems or the massive, pulsing crowds of a modern Indian festival, the mechanism remains the same. Humans rely on these psychological symbols, turbulent oceans, venomous serpents, and divine elixirs, to make sense of the world and to confront our ultimate shared adversary, death.